Hey y'all, my name is Dylan. I'm a college admissions coach and an undergrad at Stanford University. And today we're going to talk about how to maximize your junior year so that you can have college application success. As you probably know, junior year is really important both for academics, extracurriculars, and prepping you so that you can be ready for your college applications in senior year. So today we're going to be talking about 5 different things that you can do to be prepared for your junior or senior year. The first thing you should be doing is enrolling in advanced coursework that aligns with your interests. So this can be like AP classes, honors classes, the IB program. When you take challenging classes, it shows colleges that you are able to handle a rigorous coursework load. It also shows that you're ambitious and willing to push yourself to learn new things and challenge yourself in new ways. Because there are a lot of skills that you will need to develop in order to succeed in these advanced classes, such as time management skills, organization skills, how do you study, creating systems for your study process. Now, if you really want to be smart and strategic about this when it comes to college admissions, it is best that you enroll in AP classes that suit your interests, especially that are tied to the major that you're going to be applying for when you apply to college. For example, if you want to go the pre-med track when you're in college, you probably want to take classes such as AP Biology and AP Chemistry because they relate to science. If you're planning to do an engineering major, you probably want to take classes like AP Calculus or AP Computer Science if they offer that at your school. When you take challenging coursework that align with your interests and your prospective major, it creates a more cohesive application when you end up applying to colleges. And it's really important to have a cohesive application, especially if you're applying to top-tier universities. They want to see that you have some sort of sense of direction and that you really pursue the things that you are passionate about and you take action to learn more and exercise that intellectual vitality or curiosity. And not only does it help with your applications, but it also can help you knock out some of the coursework that you're gonna have to take in college. Now, this really depends on both the school, what their policies are, and the actual score that you get on the AP test, if we're talking about AP classes, for example. It also really depends on the major that you are going for. So, for example, I am now an engineering major at Stanford. I created my own major in the engineering department, by the way. And because I took AP Calculus in high school, that actually gave me 6 units of math that I could just knock out, so I didn't have to take 1 or 2 more math classes while in college. At a lot of schools like Stanford, you probably need to get at least a 4 or a 5 on the AP exam in order to waive that credit. Getting those classes out of the way is so nice because then you have time to do other things that you may be more passionate about. And at some schools, it can even lower the price of college because you're having to pay for less classes. But just know it does not always knock out that requirement because some schools still want you to take that class. Again, even if you took the AP test in high school. For example, at Stanford, I took AP Statistics and got a 5 on that exam, yet I'm not able to count that as a math requirement at Stanford just because that's their policy. When it comes to choosing classes in high school, especially for more advanced classes, I really don't recommend just throwing on every single AP and saying, yeah, I'm just gonna do like 6 or 8 APs at once. If you know that you can handle that workload and you will be okay, then sure, okay, go for it. But I know for most people and for myself, we need balance. We can't just make our entire schedule super, super hard classes, or it will be really hard to get good grades. And it will be really hard to get a high score on that AP test if you don't have the time to study because you're too busy doing all this work for all these other classes. My strategy when I was in high school is that I took 4 APs my junior year and 4 APs my senior year and 1 AP my sophomore year, by the way. But when planning for those 4 APs, I made sure that 2 of them would be less time intensive, less hard, less work, and the other 2 would be more challenging, more work. Just make sure that you don't burn yourself out before you get to college, where you're gonna have to do a lot more really hard work. Additionally, another way that you can boost your application, show your intellectual vitality in a certain subject, and hopefully knock out some classes that you may have to later take in college is by enrolling in a dual enrollment program or taking classes at a local community college. If you need more help with choosing classes, talk to your guidance counselor at your high school and they should be able to provide some helpful advice. Number 2, the thing that you definitely need to do if you especially want to get into a more competitive college is pursue impactful extracurricular activities. And I am not talking about joining every single club at your school and doing one volunteer hour here, one volunteer hour there, one volunteer hour doing this thing. Most people think that the more activities they do, the better it is for their application, but that's not necessarily the case. What matters more is the quality of these activities rather than the quantity. Colleges care way more if you're actually committed to an activity for a long period of time and you've developed a leadership position and you've taken initiative to actually create real world impact. Because ultimately, colleges are not asking you to do extracurriculars just so they can see that you did extracurriculars. The reason why they want you to do extracurriculars is to show that you are actually engaging in things that you are curious to learn more about, passionate about, slightly interested in. You are taking steps to learn more about your own interests, develop new skills, and help other people. A core thing that admissions officers really want to see on your application is that you are doing some good for the world. You want to help the world in some way, make it a better place. You know, that's a cliche phrase. Don't put that in your essays, but that's ultimately what they want. So don't just do activities because you think it will look good on your resume or your application. Here are some examples. So if you are interested in political science or social justice, you could volunteer to work on a certain campaign. You can work with your school district if there's a sort of volunteer program with that. Or you could work in a nonprofit organization. You could create your own nonprofit organization for a specific cause, raise a bunch of money to help people in need, or give them resources or supplies that they wouldn't have access to otherwise. If you're interested in biology or the sciences, I really recommend that you try to do research. You could reach out to a professor at a local university and work in their lab, maybe write a paper, maybe get it published, maybe present at a conference. Those are things that can really help your application. But you could also do things like start a biology club at your high school, or teach biology to children in your community, start a sort of education program, or create a book or online course for the things that you want to teach other people. You can volunteer in local hospitals or senior centers. If you are interested in studying computer science, then maybe try taking online courses or doing some sort of summer program that teaches you those computer science skills. And then always make sure to apply those skills somewhere else. So maybe that looks like working on your own passion project. Perhaps you're coding a website or an app that can help people in some way. Maybe you work at an internship or volunteer at a startup that is doing some sort of social good. These are the type of extracurriculars that you may want to involve yourself in because they need to align with your interests to create a cohesive application. So you have some sort of theme or through line. And so you are able to develop the skills that you need to succeed in that specific major or career path that you are going for. And a really handy thing is that when you do these types of extracurriculars, you will get to meet a lot of other people, faculty, professionals, who then can maybe write your letters of recommendation for college. For example, I did Girls Who Code. That was a summer program that teaches you computer science, and I was able to have one of my professors at that program write a letter of rec for me for Stanford. Number 3, something that really stands out in college admissions is a passion project. And I know I touched on it a little bit in my last point, but this needs a whole separate point because it's just so important. So what is a passion project? It is a self-directed, creative endeavor that you pursue outside of school. So it's not a school club, it's not a class that you're taking in school. It's something that you do outside of school that aligns with your passions and creates an impact on the community. This can really range and be whatever you want it to be. It could be a novel that you publish, or starting an organization, or creating a website or an app. But this is something that can really set your application apart because it shows that you're not just like everybody else doing all the normal activities that students tend to do. Instead, you are really taking action, really investing in your interests. And it not only looks super good on college apps, it can really help you develop core skills that you're gonna need in the future, like project management skills, or communication, or leadership, or organization, or dealing with money, creating partnerships with other organizations. So if you're sitting here and you're like, oh my God, I have no idea what I would wanna do if I were to create a passion project, I need some tips. Here's some questions to get you started. First, the core thing you need to know if you ever want to create anything in entrepreneurship, design, whatever, is that you have to start with a problem. You cannot start with a solution. You cannot start thinking, oh, I want to make a cool thing. What's a cool thing I can make? No, if you do that, you're not going to create a solution that actually helps people in the way that it needs to. So start with a problem. What is something in your school community, your local community, something you experience that needs work? What are some issues that you really care about solving? So you have this problem that you can hopefully solve with a passion project. If this problem actually relates and stems from something in your own personal experience, this can help you create a really phenomenal college application essay. Because ultimately, your college essays are about your experiences in your life and your values and how that came together to shape who you are. And it really comes across as impactful when in your story, you're sharing how you dealt with a problem, you noticed it in other people perhaps, then you actually took action to solve that problem using the skills that you had gained. And then you pushed yourself to gain new skills and then use those skills to solve that problem, right? So it's always about how you developed new skills and then use those skills to do something else. Always, always, always share how you applied what you learned. All right, the fourth thing that you can start doing in junior year is begin researching colleges. I recommend doing this in your second semester of junior year. So in the spring time, it's really good if you start doing this in the spring so that when summer hits, you already have your college list and you can just really focus on creating those college essays and making your application as best as it can be. When it comes to creating a college list, you really want to do in-depth research. I'm talking about go on the internet and go down a rabbit hole of websites, especially look at the college's websites itself and dig deeper to find out the majors, the classes, the professors that teach those classes, the extracurriculars that they have, the school's values, the school culture, whether that even aligns with your values and your interests. The point here is you don't want to just choose a college or put a college on your list because everyone else is talking about it, or because your parents are like, you should apply there, or because you have outside pressure from other people telling you to apply to a certain school. You need to be totally confident in yourself that this school is what you want and is the right school for you, given your interests, your goals, and your values. So there are several online tools that you can use to look up colleges and compare them. I recommend College Board's college search tool, and make sure that while you're researching colleges, you take notes. Definitely take notes. I promise you, this is going to be a lifesaver because you need to remember what each college has and what's the difference between each college and whether you like certain colleges for certain reasons. And most importantly, because it's going to help you write your essays. A lot of schools have the question that's, why do you want to go to this school? Why this college? And you need to pull up very, very specific reasons why you want to go there. What opportunities do you want to pursue when you're there? What kind of classes do you want to take? With what kind of professors? What kind of research do you want to do? Do you want to study abroad? What kind of programs are there? What do you want to learn while you're abroad? Are there certain competitions you want to compete in? Are there certain groups and organizations you want to be part of? All of those details you're gonna need to know and you're gonna have to pull up and be able to talk about in your essay. So to make your life a billion times easier, I'm gonna give you a free tool that I wish that I had and used when I was applying to colleges. I am giving you a full college application task management platform where you can keep all of your to-dos, all of your notes, and all of your dates and deadlines and links and whatever in one place. It's gonna make your life so much easier, and it's gonna help you understand the time frame of all the things that you need to do and by when, and make sure that you're not just losing your mind when college application comes. You need to get all the stuff in your mind onto paper, or not paper, but like an online tool. So this is totally free. It's super helpful. Just go to my website, collegeessayadvice.com/AA, and you will be able to start using it right away. Also, to get an even better sense of the college culture, you want to talk to actual students who attend that university and even go on some campus tours if that is available to you. So sign up for an information session, a campus tour, go online and maybe reach out to some people who attend that school. And talk to your school's guidance counselor because they can probably set you up with a lot of those opportunities. I really do recommend talking with students who actually attend that school because they're gonna tell you like it is. They're not gonna be like a university, which is a whole marketing thing of this is why our school is awesome. They're gonna tell you, here's the real details, here's what it's like to actually be a student there, and you're gonna learn a lot that you probably wouldn't know if you had just read their website. Plus, they can also give you more insight that you can then use in your essays. Okay, and number 5, the last thing that you should do in your junior year is start learning about the college application process. Because the earlier that you familiarize yourself with how this whole process works, the more time you will have to strengthen your own applications. So get organized using the tool that I'm giving you for free. Understand all the tasks that are involved in this process, and you'll be able to start to create a schedule for yourself. Understand that while building your college list, each application is going to cost a fee. Are you able to get fee waivers? Talk to your guidance counselor about that. Figure out the costs that are involved in this whole process as well. And lastly, really start to understand the strategy behind college applications and especially college essays. You cannot just wing a college essay. There is so much in-depth strategy that goes into creating a really good one. And that is what I teach. That is my specialty. So if you want a free 1-hour masterclass, oh my gosh, I'm giving you so much free stuff in this video. So if you want to get started on college essay strategy and understand the ins and outs of what works and what doesn't, I have a free 1-hour masterclass that teaches you all of these things. And you can access it at my website. Once again, the link here is collegeessayadvice.com/masterclass. I promise you, this is loaded with really juicy information that can seriously level up your college applications. Okay, I know I just talked for forever. I hope that was helpful. So I want to know, based on everything that I just said, those 5 main points, what was your biggest takeaway? Please put it in the comments below. I want to hear what was that one main thing that really stuck with you. If you only just learned one thing from this video, then great. That makes me happy. What was one light bulb moment? One thing that you really took from this video? Was it about enrolling in advanced coursework, pursuing impactful extracurriculars, doing a passion project, researching colleges, or learning about the application process and getting organized? Let me know in the comments below, and make sure to follow and subscribe because I have tons of college application advice and resources coming your way. All right, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you very soon. Bye-bye.